This is all a misunderstanding.
It was just weird. You're a weirdo. I'm sorry. You're a weirdo.
But I mean no harm. I mean no harm. I have no ill intent.
Shameik Moore.
Shameik Moore.
Shameik Moore.
Shameik Moore.
Shameik Moore.
Shameik Moore is really weird.
What happens when the voice actor ruins the character? And well, immediately some of you may be saying to yourself, that's impossible. Miles Morales and the voice actor Shameik Moore are two completely different people. And you're right, but what if I told you that none of that mattered? The moment that you view Shameik Moore as a weirdo who harasses his co-stars and other women in the industry is the moment you start to view Miles Morales a little differently. But for me to explain it better, we need to recap this entire controversy happening right now. Starting with the voice actor of Gwen Stacy, aka Hailee Steinfeld. After she would announce that she had recently been engaged, voice actor of Miles Morales Shameik Moore tweeted out this: "There's still more people to meet, more opportunities to come, and more chances to try. Live, learn, apply." And although this might seem like some regular motivational tweet, everyone was clowning him, assuming that this tweet was directed at Hailee and her recent engagement, especially when there are whole conversations of Shameik seemingly having a crush on her throughout all their interviews.
It's easier to be Miles flirting with Gwen when I'm looking at Hailee.
When you're looking at her, right.
Trying to be smooth,
Like reading
but
with
not
the
too
guys.
smooth.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
imagine Hailee, you know what I'm saying? So,
And he just kind of comes off weird and flirty with his co-star, so the internet took it and ran with it, making any joke they can just to clown Shameik. But honestly, you could easily chop that up to the internet just being the internet and running with a false narrative. But no, Shameik felt like he had something to prove. You couldn't just watch the internet continue to clown him after being the only Spider-Man not to date his co-star. So he decided to post a video of him and another actress from other Spider-Man films, Laura Harrier. And within the video, it seemed like they are very close to each other, and this could even be a direct response of Shameik saying, "Hey bro, I got a girl." And everyone was kind of like, "My bad, Shameik, we ain't know you had it like that, bro. It was all jokes." But what the internet doesn't know is that this woman is already engaged, and she takes that very seriously.
I'm in Hollywood. I get it. People do PR stunts, whatever. People like to get attention. But when he first posted that video, a friend sent it to me and was like, "Did you know that he put this up?" And I was like, "No, because that was taken a year ago at a party when somebody asked us to take photos together, and I guess somebody was filming it. Not sure why you would post that now." And so I texted him. We're not close, like I know him just from around. And I texted him, "Hey, can you take this down? I'm not sure why you would post that. Also, I'm literally getting married, and I don't like this insinuation that there's something going on between us, if that was your intention." And it's still up. It was just weird. You're a weirdo. I'm sorry. You're a weirdo. And I'm annoyed. So...
And with her completely exposing his childish actions, Shameik would then decide to deactivate all his social media accounts, only for a day later to go by just for him to post this apology video. I guess it was just kind of dumb.
this is all a misunderstanding. Unfortunately, it's public. You know, it's really the fan fiction, man. It's the commentary. It's
One eternity later.
that's what's fucking weird, you know. But I mean no harm.
And of course, with the bad apology, things went from bad to worse, with the internet doing what the internet does and grabbing old tweets of his. It started with him being, I guess, a little weird towards Zendaya, saying, "Yo, Zendaya, I want to play you music when I come out there next week. Why you unfollow Zendaya on Instagram? LOL. She unfollowed me, LOL, but she's still the homie." There's another tweet of him saying, "Girls in the gym be asking for it. Swear. Do you like younger girls? Depends." And with all these weird tweets and actions of his, this brings us right back to, how does this ruin Miles as a character? A lot of you may still be saying that despite all the weird things Shameik has said or done, that this won't affect Miles in any way, but I beg to differ. Because anytime we see Miles and hear his voice, we will be reminded of the weird things Shameik has done. And to make it even worse, Miles having a love interest of Gwen, who was voiced by Hailee Steinfeld, means that anytime there is supposed to be some type of romance scene between the two, it's gonna be a little awkward, because we as the viewer have seen where he would flirt with her and she looks completely nervous. And even speaking of the press interviews, when promoting the next Spider-Verse movie, it might be completely different. We probably won't see Shameik Moore next to Hailee Steinfeld or any female actor at this point. He probably just gonna have to do press by himself, or probably no press at all if Sony really want to play it safe. But somehow, some way, I know that there are some of you that still believe that the voice actors can't affect these characters at all. But what if I gave you an example of a voice actor that completely ruined an entire show? This is Justin Roiland. Now stick with me here because there is a lot this guy has allegedly done. It started in January of 2023 when Roiland was charged with felony domestic violence in connection with an incident that allegedly occurred in 2020 involving his former girlfriend. The charges included 1 count of domestic battery with 1 count of false imprisonment. Roiland denied the allegations, and in March 2023, the charges were dropped due to insufficient evidence. But that didn't matter for Justin's career because he was instantly dropped by Adult Swim, the network that airs Rick and Morty, and other shows like Solar Opposites and Koala Man would cut ties soon after. And as the domestic violence case gained more attention, other allegations of Roiland had came to light. NBC News reported an entire article of this man allegedly taking advantage of a woman. According to NBC, a woman that Justin had met up with had sent him a text message saying, "Yeah, I just want to say that I would never want to say anything or hurt you or be part of that in any way, but also that the sexual stuff that happened with us was not handled by you in the best way. And I just want you to take that into account in future dates. I know it was not black or white, but verbal consent is very important." If you'd like to read more on the situation, it is in the link in the description below. But these instances would result in the show going off the rails behind the scenes, forcing them to get new voice actors for Rick and Morty, which the fans absolutely hated. And to add on top of that, the show's quality took a noticeable dip, with often stretching storylines and inconsistencies and having a really good or really bad episode randomly throughout a season. I think that this, along with fans constantly being reminded of some of the strange things Roiland would do allegedly, I'm sure that this put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth when watching these characters. And it's not just Rick and Morty that he's voiced. He has done voice work for other popular shows like Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, Fish Hooks, and even popular games like High on Life. And I'm sure that these allegations have probably left a lot of fans of his work slightly uneasy after hearing these things. Which leads us to one question: what now? How do we fix this problem of voice actors ruining the experience of watching a show? Well, some people will say it's easy. They might say that studios need to learn how to separate advertisements from some of these voice actors, and how they shouldn't be given a platform in the first place. And although I think it's valid, I don't think it's a permanent or reliable solution. My recommendation would honestly start with the fans or general audiences of these shows, and to start normalizing that you don't know who these people are. When in front of a camera, they can be a darling, but behind the scenes, we don't know the heinous things they could be doing. And now I'm not saying Shameik Moore did anything necessarily heinous, but he has definitely shown that he can be a little strange at times. And I think that getting in this mindset allows us to have that conversation of separating the art from the artist. But honestly, I could just be yapping, man. You let me know what you guys think would be a valuable solution to these types of problems. And of course, be sure to check out any other videos if you enjoyed this one. And let me know what I can do better for future videos. And as always, stay blessed.